This problem is designed to show you how to balance a half reaction in a basic solution. I'm going to start by rewriting what I already know. So MnO2 is going to go to Mn2O3. First thing that I want to do, just like in all problems, I want to start off by balancing the non-oxygens, non-hydrogens. On the left-hand side of the equation, I have 1 manganese, and on the right-hand side, I have 2. So I'm going to start by placing a 2 in front of MnO2, and that balances out my manganese. Now my oxygens are unbalanced. I have a total of 4 oxygens on the left-hand side. 2 times 2 is 4, and I have only 3 oxygens on the right side, the product side of the equation. To fix this, I'm going to add a water. In order to balance out any of the oxygens in these problems, we're going to add a water molecule. And now I have 4 oxygens on the left side and 4 oxygens on the right side. What I've now done, though, is I have added 2 hydrogen atoms on the right-hand side. So to balance that out, I'm going to add 2 hydrogen ions on the left-hand side. When we're working with a basic condition, essentially what it is also going to be floating around in that solution are hydroxide ions. So as soon as you've added the hydrogen ions, those would be attached to hydroxide ions. So we're going to add 2 hydroxide ions to the left side of the equation. Because I've added those 2 hydroxide ions to the left side of the equation, I now need to add 2 hydroxide ions to the right side of the equation to make sure that those are also balanced. Hydroxide ions and hydrogen ions, when they come into contact with each other, actually react to form water. So in this case, what I'm going to have now is water in place of my hydrogen and my hydroxide. So I actually have 2 waters on this side. All right, the last thing that we need to do now that all of our atoms are balanced is we need to balance out the charges. On the right-hand side of the equation, I have a 0 from the MnO3, a 0 charge from the water, but I have a -2 charge from my hydroxide, so -2 on the right-hand side. On my left-hand side of the equation, I have no charge from the water, no charge from the manganese 4 oxide, and so I'm going to have to add 2 electrons to that side. Now my charges should be balanced, so I have -2 on the left side and -2 on the right side, so I'm going to do my last step is just going to be to finalize all of this. Before I finalize my equation, I am going to cancel out one other thing, and that is my waters can cancel out. I can subtract them down because they are on the opposite sides of the reaction. On the right-hand side, I have 1 water, and on the left-hand side, I have 2. So that water on the right side is going to cancel out, and one of my waters from the left-hand side will cancel out. So my final equation then will be 2 electrons plus 1 water, and that's going to be in liquid form, plus 2 MnO2, and that is solid, yields Mn2O3, solid, plus 2 OH minus, and that's aqueous.